the Ozarks. Tonight's semifinal game features the Wolves of Cardinal Stritch University and the Grenadiers of Indiana University Southeast. At this time, would you please rise for our invocation given by Marcia Malman and remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the Colors of the Ozarks, One Lookout Fire Department Color Guard, and the singing of our national anthem by Courtney Pyle. We ask that you please remain standing until the colors have left the arena.
Bow with me. Glorious Father, I thank you for this another day in which we can celebrate and serve. Father, I thank you for the incredible talent that you have given these young men. Lord, I pray that you be with them as they play, that they may play to their best ability, and that you may keep them safe. I pray that you be with the officiants and all that work this game. Lord, be with each of us as spectators, that we may show character that is Christ-like. In all we do, may we honor and glorify you. For it's in your strong name I pray. Amen.
Our honorary coaches. For Cardinal Stritch, Brad McCord and Shirley McCord of Tri-Links Insurance and Greater Homes. And for Indiana Southeast, Neil Frost and Chris Fowler of Cox Medical Center. And now for your starting lineups. Starting at guard, Cardinal Stritch, 5'9" senior from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, number 32, Nick Moore. Starting for Indiana Southeast, 5'9" junior from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 1, Kevin Mitchell. Starting for Cardinal Stritch, a 6'7" senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 34, Darren Moore. Starting for Indiana Southeast, a 6'5" junior from Jeffersonville, Indiana, number 10, Keegan Clark. Starting for Cardinal Stritch, a 6'3" junior from Rosendale, Wisconsin, number 23, Derek Simmons. Indiana Southeast, the 6'2" sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky, number 12, Jake Simpson. Cardinal Stritch, a 6'6" senior from Geneva, Illinois, number 24, Jeremy D'Amico. For Indiana Southeast, the 6'2" junior from Seymour, Indiana, number 3, Matt Trickle. For Cardinal Stritch, a 5'11" sophomore from Monterey, Wisconsin, number 22, Tony Smith. And for Indiana Southeast, a 6'4" junior from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 22, Cameron Mitchell. The head coach for Cardinal Stritch is Drew Diener. The head coach for Indiana Southeast is Wiley Brown. Our officials this evening are Matt Mason, Ron Watson, and Chris Spears. Our goal is to improve the culture of organization and sport both today and in the future. We ask that all players, coaches, officials, and spectators please help us by being positive role models before, during, and after today's game. And I also request your cooperation by not smoking while inside the gymnasium, and a reminder the videotaping of the national championship tournament game is prohibited.
side. Mazur with it. Inside underneath, nice pass along the post, but then they try to kick the ball back out. Goes into the backcourt, and Cardinal Stritch able to run it down, but they're down to 3 seconds left to shoot the ball. They're going to get a look from it over on the baseline. Shot is going to be short, no good. And here come the Grenadiers trying to answer, but instead the ball is stripped away and stolen by Smith. Ahead on the break, shot good and a foul. Mike Simpson gets the basket, 25-19. And for the first time really in the game, it looked out of control.
Yeah, it really did, and both teams were in the transition. And then a frustration foul, I think, on Matt Trimmel as he goes down there. Once Simpson got the position, really not much Trimmel could do about it, but still reached out and tried to hit the wrist and ended up actually getting part of the shoulder, I think, as well. Got called for his second foul, so he's on the bench right now for the Grenadiers.
And here's a chance for Simpson for an old-fashioned three-point play. He hits it, and the lead is 7 at 26-19 as we come up close to the 10-minute mark left to play in the first half. Ball over on the right side, right in front of the Wolves bench. Now they swing it completely over to the other side. Baseline, drive, shot, no good. Rebound controlled by Cardinal Stritch. Here come the Wolves looking to expand on that 7-point lead. Start on the left, they'll move the offense completely over and set up on the right. Cross-court pass now into the hands of Ford. Popping over to the other side and getting it now is Simpson. Simpson, free throw line, nice dish inside. Ball cannot be controlled, it goes out of bounds, so it stays with the Wolves. 9:46 left to go, first half, 26-19. Cardinal Stritch in front of IU Southeast. I'm Perry Phillips along with Scott McCauley. It's the semifinals of the men's NAIA Division II National Championships here in Point Lookout, Missouri. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Simpson all the way back out to reset. Drive, shot with the left hand is no good. And the rebound controlled by the Grenadiers. On the run left side, numbers aren't there. They'll set up the half-court offense that throw the ball away.
Well, he was trying to throw the ball to Billups, and Billups was open. Well, the problem is he wasn't looking for the ball. He had turned his head to look down court, and Billups was standing wide open. He just didn't realize it and never even looked for the basketball. So an unfortunate unforced turnover for IU Southeast gives the ball back to Cardinal Stritch.
9:23 left to go first half, 26-19. Cardinal Stritch in front of IU Southeast. Shot inside is good, and a foul add to the total. I believe that was D'Amico getting the score inside.
Tell you what, Cardinal Stritch has been very aggressive to the basket, and that has been one of their more consistent things. But an IU Southeast team that's played very good interior defense, Cardinal Stritch still has not hesitated to take it right for the basket, and they've got several three-point opportunities doing that all right. And cash in on this one to do D'Amico, who now has 6 points. So now the biggest lead of the game for Stritch, 29-19 here at 9:15 to go in the first half.
You said a double-digit lead now with 9:10 left to go in the first half. Grenadiers with it, ball at the free throw line. On the drive here, shot is actually pass over on the right side. Grenadiers is going to go up with a shot from the left, no good. And Stritch able to clear the rebound. Up the middle of floor, this is Simpson. Simpson dribbles with the right hand. Wanted to go left side of the lane, but he was cut off. Instead, they work the offense. Left side now, Ford. Comes back right, Simpson. Simpson cut off on his drive, throws it right side out above the arc. Stops at the free throw line left, down into the left corner. Three-point shot underway. It's strong, no good. Indiana Southeast able to come out with the rebound. Run down on the drive. Here's Mitchell, who's back into the game. He travels before he can dish it out left. Good to see Mitchell back in the basketball game after the collision that sent him to the bench earlier.
Yeah, he was a little bit dazed, and they wisely took him out. They're actually going to take him out again. Right now, he will go sit on the bench at 8:24 to go here in the first half.
It's still 29-19 as neither team has scored in the past couple of possessions. Cardinal Stritch run the offense, get the ball down along the block, shot off the backboard, will roll home for Isaac Quinn. It is a 31-19 game, a 12-point advantage for the Wolves over the Grenadiers. Simpson, runner, no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. It will stay with Indiana University Southeast.
Again, if you're just joining us, the winner of this game will play William Penn, the top-ranked Statesman. Pulled away in the second half to knock off Grace 79-58. So the Statesmen, who themselves had a couple of scares in this championship, have made it all the way to the championship final.
Billups gets credit for the three there. You talked about the ability and the scoring he had coming off the bench the other night. Adds a big three there when the Grenadiers really needed it. 31-22, back to within 9. And then they're going to get the ball out of a miss at the other end. Grayick runs the middle of the floor, left side. Here's a three. Good. Mazer cans the three. Excuse me, that was Clark hitting the three. It is a 31-25 game. Now it's back down to 6, but a basket will be good for Simenez. He's got 5, and it is a 33-25 advantage right now for the Wolves. Shot will not go. Rebound is cleared. Running the floor here is Simpson. Simpson will now stop and wait on the rest of the Wolves to get down the court, get a chance to set up in the half-court set. 6:45 left to go first half. 33-25. Wolves in front of the Grenadiers. Three-point attempt, going to be long, no good. Hits off the top of the backboard and now rebounded by the Grenadiers. Now back to within 8 with the basketball. Popped out to get it. This is Trimnell. Cross-court pass, Simpson. Simpson dribbles right in between the floor, looking over the defense. Left side, this is Mitchell. Spin move at the lane. Kicks out. Clark, shot, strong, no good. And this time no one there but 4 Cardinal Stritch players to pull down the rebound. Under 6 minutes left to play first half. Drive, contact, and a blocking foul. And an out-of-bound play is that actually I'll call it on the shot. 2 free throws now.
Yeah, Simpson
coming up.
Yeah, Simpson was definitely going up for the shot by the time the contact was made. And I think maybe Mike Simpson actually realized he was going to be in a situation. I'm not sure he intended to shoot it, but once he saw where the defender positioned himself, he went ahead and went into the shooting motion and was able to draw the foul. That's Keegan Clark's second foul.
Kevin Mitchell back in for the Grenadiers.
Kevin Mitchell checks back in. Keegan Clark will get a rest. As you said, he picked up his second foul there. And that free throw rattles around but drops home. Simpson now with 5, 35-25, again up to that double-digit lead. 5:45 left to go here in the first half. Grenadiers with the basketball. Outside jumper will not go. Rebound to Stritch. Here they come on the run. Free throw line. No shot there. Instead they kick it back left. Simpson now will pull the trigger on the 3. Can't hit it. We go the other way. Grenadiers outside. Mitchell swings it cross court. 3-point shot no good for Simpson. And Simpson will slow things down now for Cardinal Stritch. Jake Simpson on the missed shot. Mike Simpson bringing the ball up the floor now for the Wolves. Pop behind between circles. Smith back to Simpson. Simpson throws it left to Ford. Ford on the drive now. He kicks it over onto the right wing. Works the ball completely back around the perimeter. Lob open inside. Dunk is missed by Quinn. The gimme would not go. And here come the Grenadiers trying to take advantage of that missed shot. Right side here is a kick over into the right corner. That 3-point shot no good. Offensive rebound putback is going to drop. Cameron Mitchell, he's got 5. It is a 35-27 game.
Well, you know, every coach I've ever talked to or I've been around says if you want to get a dunk, make sure you get it.
Yep.
A dunk is anything but a gimme. You have to have a lot of things go right for you. I'll tell you what, it's really to credit for a lot of these players to make it look as easy as it does, but it's not difficult, and that could be very costly. It's kind of giving a little momentum shift now as IU Southeast looking to get another basket.
That's another miss inside. Here comes IU Southeast three-pointer. This time it is short. No good. And then on the rebound, we'll have a timeout. Timeout on the floor. 4 minutes left to go in the first half of this national semifinal. Your score, Cardinal Stritch Wolves 35, Indiana University Southeast Grenadiers 27.
Make sure to check out other exciting action of other NAIA National Championships by going to NAIA.org. Men's and Women's Division I National Championships will be starting on Wednesday. Men's Championship in Kansas City, Women's Finals, and the championship event will be held in Frankfort, Kentucky. Go to NAIA.org for more information. Of course, the men's and women's championships in Division II are wrapping up as far as tonight is concerned, as far as the NAIA coverage. Both the championship games will be on CBS Sports Network tomorrow. The women's matchup from Sioux City, Iowa will take place at 6. The men will follow at 8. Davenport is already through to the women's championship in Sioux City, playing the winner of the Morningside game this evening against Indiana Wesley, and that's the second semifinal there. Here, William Penn's made it to the championship, playing the winner of this game for the men's Division II final.
So out of the timeout, here come the Wolves with the basketball. Up top of the key, nice look inside. This time the shot is going to be good from the left side, as using the backboard is Kraus getting it to drop.
Doing it very well, and an excellent job of passing that time for Cardinal Stritch until they got the perfect shot.
Little shot from about 4 feet out, no good. Stritch on the run the other end, layup will go. That was Smith.
Wiley Brown wanting to know why there wasn't a travel call there. That was very, very close, but he's not going to get it, and that's going to be another timeout, and all of a sudden Cardinal Stritch has built the lead back to 12. It's 39-27. Cardinal Stritch with 3:17 to go here in the first half. You can't see it or feel it, but you know and value when someone shows it. Character, it's at the heart of who we are. Learn more about the NAIA Champions of Character program at championsofcharacter.org. 3:17 to go in the first half. Cardinal Stritch with a 39-27 lead. You know, Cardinal Stritch really wasn't challenged that much. They did have a very tough first half against Jamestown in the opening round before pulling away from the Jimmies in the second half. We told you about how they dominated Bellevue in their second round when holding the Bruins to just 14 first half points, but then it certainly was a different story Saturday as the Dordt defenders gave the Wolves all they could handle before the Wolves were able to prevail in double overtime and get to this championship semifinal.
Out of the timeout, shot from just inside the free throw line, no good. Offensive rebound after a battle was claimed and put back by Cameron Mitchell.
Very important for IU Southeast to get a basket after the timeout to try to stay in this ball game. They don't want to lose touch with Stritch before they reach halftime, as they've cut the lead down to 10.
But shot at the other end, knocked out of bounds, no good by Stritch. But you have to really applaud the Grenadier defense, though, because they had two men down low where it looked like it was going to be a gimme. The interior defense sucked down and kept them from getting the easy layup on either side.
Never got a good look at it, and that prevented them from being able to convert on that nice pass inside.
2:35 left to go first half. 28 left on the shot clock. We remain at 39-29. Wolves with the basketball. On the right, Simpson kicks it right side. Now Smith. Smith leans in. Shot is partially blocked, and the Grenadiers come away with it on the run. 3-on-2. Kick it out over to the right side. 24-foot shot is no good, and rebound controlled by Cardinal Stritch. Dish off underneath the basket and stolen as Trimnell picks it off, running the other way for the Grenadiers. Cross-court pass in the hands Kevin Mitchell. His little runner is going to be off the backboard, off the back of the rim, I should say. No good, and Cardinal Stritch pulls down the rebound and will slow it down.
IU Southeast was making almost all those shots on Saturday night in their win over College of the Ozarks, and even though that was a good look and a good type of shot by Mitchell, just a little strong and those shots are not falling, for Indiana Southeast now. They're down to 44% shooting for the game.
Well, that'll help for Cardinal Stritch shooting. A three-point shot is going to be good for Smith once again. 19 first-half points, giving his team a 42-29 lead.
Well, that's close to his season average. If you put a 1 in front of the 9 that's usually there, he averages just over 9 points a game and well on his way to a career game right now as he's really helped Stritch get a big lead here in the first half.
5 first-half three-pointers. Cameron Mitchell with the answer at the other end. Just a 2-point basket. 42-31. Under a minute left to play in the first half. Drive shot will not drop for Simpson. And Indiana University Southeast running the other way. Mitchell tried to go baseline, but he was cut off instead of a long cross-court pass back outside. Now on the drive, Harris shot is going to be good for Billups. Billups with 5, 42-33. Shot clock is off as we're down to 25 seconds left to play in the first half.
And Cardinal Stritch has the final possession and also the first possession of the second half. IU Southeast has done a good job of cutting the lead to 9. Can they hold Cardinal Stritch from getting back to a double-digit lead before halftime? We'll know in about 10 seconds.
Simpson dribbles on the left wing, brings it over to the right wing. Cross-court pass, drive, nice dish inside. Shot is still no good as Krause misses the inside shot. Half-court shot will go! Half-court shot drops there for Cameron Mitchell. He has got 12 after that, and a way to swing momentum, maybe your side, going to the locker room. A runner good from half court, and it brings his team back to within 6 at 42-36.
And you know, the funny thing is that Cardinal Stritch had what you thought was a gimme inside as Cibadez did a nice job of driving inside, found Quinn in there, but the shot got partially blocked, and then they go back the other way and then knock down the long-range jumper from half court right off the backboard, and it dropped right down. And you're right, you know, those are fun shots when they go in, but that was pretty important here because what probably should have been an 11-point lead for Cardinal Stritch is now only 6. That is a huge momentum swing as we go into half.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. A 5-point swing there really makes a difference. Take a look at these unofficial stats here as we go to half. First for the Wolves. They are led by Smith. We talked about what he had done from the field. 5 3-pointers in the first half. 19 points on the game on a 19 points in the first half on a 9-point per game regular season average. From there, D'Amico with 6, 5 for Simpson, 3 for Mazer, 2 for Ford, as well as Krause. For Indiana University Southeast, they are led in scoring by Cameron Mitchell, who hit that shot at the end of the half. He has 12, 10 for Clark, 7 for Jake Simpson, and 5 for Terrence Billups, and then add 2 for Kevin Mitchell. It adds up to a 42-36 halftime advantage for the Wolves over the Grenadiers.
Cardinal Stritch shooting 15 of 30 and even 50% in the first half. Just one shot left for Indiana Southeast, 14 of 30, 47%. Cardinal Stritch 7 threes, Indiana Southeast 6 threes in the first half. Only one missed free throw between the two teams, so both teams are taking full advantage of what they've had at the free throw line. IU Southeast does have the rebounding advantage right now, 16-12. If IU Southeast has had any problem, they have turned the ball over 6 times compared to only 2 for Cardinal Stritch in the first half. Our halftime score, it's the Cardinal Stritch Wolves 42, Indiana University Southeast, the Grenadiers 36. We will step aside and be back with the second half of action coming up as we continue with our coverage of the NAI Division II Men's Basketball Championship from Point Lookout, Missouri, brought to you by the NAI and New Lions. Second half coming up next.
most of the gymnastics from the Ozark Mountain Family YMCA.
final half of action on our coverage of NAI.org and New Lion as we are getting ready to find out who the final team will be to join William Penn in the national championship game tomorrow night. Here, Cardinal Stritch out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with a 42-36 lead over Indiana University Southeast, the Grenadiers of New Albany, Indiana. Cardinal Stritch will start with the basketball in the second half, but maybe a little bit of momentum going to IU Southeast way after the long jump shot by Mitchell made at half court, from half court at halftime. Scott McCauley, along with Perry Phelps, glad to have you along the line tonight around the country, around the world, as we get ready for our final half to determine who will be the other national championship team to make the finals. Cardinal Stritch starts with the ball in the second half. They get the ball inbounds to Moore, and then Ford will dribble it around the perimeter. Bounces back up top to Smith. Smith had a huge first half, 19 points, as he leads all scorers in the ball game. That's a good 10 points above his seasonal average. Here's Jimenez, drives to the basket, gets it inside. Moore's shot is up and in, as Darren Moore has his first basket of the ball game. And Cardinal Stritch it away, answers the basket of IU Southeast to end the half, and gets the lead back to 8. Drive to the basket, Keegan Clark, his shot off the mark. Cardinal Stritch saves it from going out of bounds, and the Wolves now a chance for a double-digit lead. Ford across midcourt, gets it off to Smith. Jimenez has it. Off to Ford. Ford picks up the dribble and has it knocked away, and Clark picks it up. Clark goes in, avoids two defenders and scores. Keegan Clark with a nice move to avoid those defenders and get the lead back to 6 at 44-38. Ford walks it across midcourt. He is going to give it off on the right side to Smith. IU Southeast sticking with the man-to-man defense, really trying to focus on keeping the ball out of the hands of Moore inside. They've done a pretty good job of that, but it's been hard to stop all the weapons for Stritch. Rebound is going to be knocked away after a missed shot, and here's IU Southeast with a rebound as Kevin Mitchell, who fought some injury problems in the first half, back in the game. Outside here is the three, up and in by Matt Trimmel. Trimmel gets his first points of the ball game, Perry, and that's huge for IU Southeast. They're back within 3.
Yeah, that's big. They get him rolling. It gives them another weapon.
44-41. We have played 2 minutes here in the second half. D'Amico off to Ford inside. The shot by Moore is no good, but he's fouled, and he'll have a couple of free throws coming up as Cameron Mitchell will commit the foul. His first foul, first team foul of the second half. William Penn won the first semifinal earlier tonight, 79-58 over Grace. So the Statesmen of Oskaloosa, Iowa, punched one of the tickets to the national championship game. Cardinal Stritch trying to punch the other one and make it the second year in a row that we've had a 1-2 matchup in the championship game. It happened last year. It hasn't happened that often at all, but got it last year, but it was number 2 last year. Oregon Tech beating Northwood for the championship. Show you how things changed. Oregon Tech didn't even make the tournament this year, while Northwood was upset by the host college, the Ozarks, in the first round. 2 free throws missed, and then a rebound the other way, or a steal the other way for Cardinal Stritch. Here we go quickly inside. That is Moore. Moore post up, spins, loses the ball, kicks it outside. Then back up top it goes. Smith has it on the left side. He drives, lobs into Moore, catches, has it stripped, and then knocked out of bounds. 46-41, 5-point lead for Cardinal Stritch. We're at to 17:33 to go here in the second half. Ball inbounds, almost stolen, and then thrown into the backcourt. It'll be picked up by D'Amico. Here's a 3 ball. That's going to be no good, but we got 3 free throws coming up. As on the outside, Smith, who's trying to equal his rest of his career combined scoring-wise, I think, tonight. He has 19. He's 10 above his average. Average is just over 9 a game, and if he makes a free throw here, he's got 3 opportunities to get to 20. Well, he misfired on the first one. We'll have 1 more on the way, 2 more on the way, we should say. Smith shoots 80% from the free throw line, so he's one of the best free throw shooters.
Well, he has 31 three-pointers on the entire year, and he had 5 in the first half.
Smith cans the second one, so that gets him to 20. So Smith definitely making his mark of the MVP of this game for Cardinal Stritch so far, as he's really stepped it up tonight.
Stepping up with it when they really needed him and doing a nice job.
Although he only makes 1 of 3 free throws, that for an 80% free throw shooter, but he does get to 20 and get the lead back to 6, 47-41. Phillips inside, fumbles the ball, kicks it back outside, 3 ball, that one in and out, almost popped back in, but Jimenez gets the rebound for Cardinal Stritch. Jimenez was the one that was the go-to player in the Stritch win Saturday over Dort. Here's a drive, kick out, bounces it into Moore. Moore post up against Billups and then has the ball taken away, but it falls on the out-of-bounds line before Billups can get it. And the basketball will belong again to Cardinal Stritch. 14 to shoot, 16:46 to go in the second half. Out long it comes. Ford will pick it up. Shot clock down to 8. Top of the key, 3 ball up. Good. Big 3 by Jeremy D'Amico. 9 points for the senior from Geneva, Illinois, and Cardinal Stritch gets the lead back to 9. Billups pulls up, kicks it back outside. Trimmell's 3 is in and out, no good. And the rebound to D'Amico. Hands it to Ford. Ford will get it across midcourt. Then we'll set it up. Cardinal Stritch very happy to run a little clock every possession. Very comfortable in the half-court set. Moore has it up at the top of the key. He may not be that comfortable up there. They're going to try to get him posted. Now he's there. Shot clock is down to 10. Here is Smith. Smith drives, kicks out, and it's right here. And unfortunately, I lost my eligibility in 1982. Not college eligibility, I should say, 1986.
Would that have mattered?
50-41 is the score. Colorman makes fun of the play-by-play announcer. I'm sitting here making a play. I'm sitting here doing my thing. And although you're right, but that has nothing to do with the fact there. And yes, I was the team manager. Thank you very much. 50-41 Cardinal Stritch. But it was right to me here, and I did a nice job of passing it back onto the court. Crossover dribble on the right wing. Kick back up to Mitchell. Billups tries to give it back to Simpson. Now gives it in the corner. Trimmell outside Simpson. He'll drive the baseline. Layup's going to be blocked from behind, but they're going to call a foul. And we'll have free throws coming up. (50-41) as Jimenez gets called for his first foul of the ball game, but for IU Southeast, Simpson not able to convert on free throws. And tell you what, it's amazing how many times we've said this during this championship period about how missed free throw opportunities.
Oh my.
Trimmell misses both of them there. And Trimmell not a respectable free throw shooter, outstanding, 85%, he just missed 2.
So we've seen 2 80+ % free throw shooters miss 4 out of 5.
Cardinal Stritch, wide open 3. Jimenez, he misses it. Moore clears the rebound, and there's going to be a foul over the back. They're going to get Billups as Moore had position inside. Third foul of the second half on IU Southeast. Well, quite frankly, free throws is the reason William Penn is here. Midland is not. Midland makes some free throws on Saturday, and it's the Warriors here instead of William Penn, but they didn't, and the Statesmen were able to take advantage of it and cashed in and got the win. And now they're playing for a national championship tomorrow night.
Boy, they look tough tonight.
Moore Couple quick passes. It's now to Ford. He gets it to Jimenez, who fires a three. It's short, and the board brought down by Cameron Mitchell. Outlet to Trimmel. Trimmel gets it back over to Mitchell. Right side, Simpson. Simpson drives into the lane. Tries to pass it down low, and he was trying to throw it inside to Wernke, but what happened is that he wasn't expecting the basketball.
Lost out of bounds. Just miscommunication. It means all the difference sometimes. And again, here come the Wolves, yes, looking for a double-digit lead.
50-41, 14:30 to go here in the second half. Moore holds it at the top of the key. Gets it off to Ford. Ford looking for Jimenez inside. He gets it to him, then passes it off. Here's a shot up and good. D'Amico now in double figures with 11. And it's 52-41. It's an 11-point lead for Cardinal Stritch. Apparently got a warning now for Cardinal Stritch and knocking the basketball, delay a game.
And this is an 8-0 run as well, since it was 44-41.
So IU Southeast is definitely got some work to do now. Still 14 minutes though to go in this one, and as Perry mentioned, Wiley Brown told him on Saturday's interview after their game that he definitely knows his team is ready for pressure situations. Well, they're in one now, trying to stay alive for their season. Clark, long-range three. That one is short, and Jimenez with the rebound. Outlet to Ford. Ford's going to slow it up as he walks it across the timeline. Drew Diener very happily will let his team run some half-court offense. Bounce pass free throw line to D'Amico. Lobs it into Moore. Moore goes up with it, scores, and is fouled. Count that one for Darren Moore, which gets him up to 6 points and continues to stretch the Wolves lead as Cardinal Stritch now has a 54-41 advantage.
And Moore did something really smart there, Scott. It led him just a little bit too much to the baseline. He caught it, gathered himself before going back up.
Not only did that gave him the shot, but it also gave him the foul opportunity, because by doing that, he squared himself up, but the defender then thought they had the opportunity to get something done. And instead, it's going to turn out to be a three-point play for Cardinal Stritch, so that good move gets him an extra point. 55-41, biggest lead of the ball game for Cardinal Stritch now at 14, as we're under 13 and a half now to play in this one from Point Lookout, Missouri. NAIA Division II Men's National Championship semifinals. Clark passes it back outside to Trimmel. Trimmel off to Clark left side. Clark wants to penetrate, kicks it back to Trimmel. Trimmel will pull up, or actually go inside. And he was going to try to pass the ball off. He loses it instead, and it's picked up by Cardinal Stritch. Ford has it, top of the key, D'Amico, three, yes! And this one beginning to get away from IU Southeast, as it is 58-41. This a 17-point lead for Cardinal Stritch with exactly 13 minutes to go here from College of the Ozarks. Student athletes come first in the NAIA. Their needs, desires, and ambition guide every decision. They are the inspiration that drives the NAIA to make character a core component and benefit of all intercollegiate sports. Register to get in the game at playnaia.org. Scott McCauley, Perry Phillips from the Keeter Athletic Complex. 13 minutes to go. And we're certainly not punching anyone's ticket yet. But if this score holds up, after all the madness that we had, losing 10 of the 16 seeds in the first round, we may be looking square at a 1-2 matchup in the championship game. We told you it happened last year, although it was number 2 that ended up winning the ball game as Oregon Tech knocked off Northwood. But quite frankly, it's been very rarely that we've even got both seeds. A lot of times we even got a number 1 seed to the championship game, although it has happened now 3 as we look back. Number 1 seed has made the championship event every year but one since 2008, at least made the championship, not necessarily won it, but made it. Here's a drive by Clark, and they're going to call a foul on the floor. But starting in 2008, Bellevue was the number 1 seed. They were beaten, though, by Oregon Tech in the championship. Oregon Tech that year was an 11 seed. In 09, number 1 Oklahoma Wesleyan did win the championship. They beat host College of the Ozarks. That was the previous record for number of unseeded teams to the second round, as 7 got it that year. Keegan Clark's going to make the first free throw after the foul called. Second foul on Derek Jimenez. Clark now with 13. In 2010, Walsh got the championship game, the number 1 seed, but that was the year that St. Francis managed to beat them for the finals. Neither number 1 nor number 2 made the championship in 2011. Again, 1 and 2 were here last year, though 2 won it. So William Penn tomorrow night will try to become the first number 1 seed since Oklahoma Wesleyan in 2009 to win the championship. But Cardinal Stritch, looks like they may be right there. They missed a chance at a layup there. And back the other way we go. IU Southeast trying to get a run and prevent Cardinal Stritch from even making the championship. There's going to be a player control foul, offensive foul called on the drive by Keegan Clark as he rolled over a Cardinal Stritch player. I think it was D'Amico that set up inside. And that'll be the third foul on Keegan Clark. 12:18 to go. 58-42 is the advantage for Cardinal Stritch. They are up 16. 4 drives. Goes back outside. And, you know, William Penn kind of did the similar thing in the first game, Perry, is that they are not hesitating to run at least 10 to 15 seconds off of every offensive possession except if they're in transition. Shot clock down to 5 seconds more. Post up inside. Count it and 1 as they get another reach-in foul on Cardinal Stritch. And again, Moore Perry just takes it up to the basket as he senses contact. And he's able to not only get the basket, but get a chance to get back to the free throw line.
And again, just really, he's so patient in there when he gets the ball. He gathers himself, and that's how he's able to draw the contact as well when he goes up.
Foul was called that time on Cameron Mitchell, his second. Already 16 fouls on the Grenadiers, which means that Cardinal Stritch, not only do they have an 18-point lead, but they're now going to the free throw line even more. Moore's there right now. Shoots 70% from the line coming into the championship, and he makes this one. And Darren Moore now becomes the third Wolves player in double figures. He's up to 10, 61-42. This is a 19-point cushion right now for Cardinal Stritch as we're at 11:30 to go. And now here's a steal as Billups loses the handle. And it will be Cardinal Stritch basketball. Mike Simpson with the ball. He has it for the Wolves. Dribbles it around the perimeter. Lobs it inside. Moore back to Simpson. Moore drives, or Simpson drives. Pull-up jumper no good. And the rebound brought down for the Grenadiers by Harris. Couple passes down low or to the outside now. Billups drives. 10-footer will be up, no good. And Jimenez has the rebound for Cardinal Stritch. They can make this a 20-point-plus lead with a basket here. 61-42, 10:45 to go in this national semifinal. Moore post up inside. This time clean block as LaMichael Harris gets the clean block. Back the other way for IU Southeast. Mitchell in the lane. Kick out to Billups. Billups fakes the three and then gets fouled as he decides to drive to the basket. D'Amico called for his first foul, only the fourth team foul on Cardinal Stritch.
A little fake, he got in the air and it slid to his right. D'Amico reaches out and makes too much contact, grabs it.
61-42, 10:25 to go. Kevin Mitchell has the ball at the right off the CO here at C of O, College of the Ozarks, Point Lookout, Missouri. Trimble off to Simpson. Simpson wants to drive, and his one-hander no good, but he will draw a foul. As Isaac Quinn in the ball game right now, giving Darren Moore a rest. And it will be Quinn, the big freshman from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Good size individual, and yes, a freshman. Gives some good minutes of relief for Darren Moore, the senior. And in case you're wondering, Darren Moore stands in there 6'7". Quinn just a little bit advanced. He said 6'8". First free throw, good. Second, no good for Jake Simpson. He gets up to 8 points, 61-43. We are now at the halfway mark of the second half here of the national semifinal number 2. Winner plays William Penn tomorrow night for the national championship. Here's a hard block out of bounds of the basketball as Harris knocks it out. Back into the lineup for IU Southeast, Cameron Mitchell, as he'll relieve Matt Trimmel. Get an 18-point lead for the Wolves. It'll be Mike Simpson to trigger the inbounds. Simpson bounces it in, gets it quickly back. He wants to drive, then dishes it back out. Then he'll get it back at the top of the key, and Smith throws it back out to him to reset. 61-43, 9:40 to go. Shot clock at 7. Not a problem as Simpson fires the three. It's no good. It's a rebound to Jake Simpson for the Grenadiers. Here's an outlet pass. Billups fires that one short. And Mike Simpson has the rebound for Cardinal Stritch. Down court to Jimenez. Outward it goes to Simpson, and Simpson will now hold on to the ball and look to run some clock. We're down to 9:15 to go. Smith on the right wing, shovels it in. Then dishes it back outside as Quinn couldn't get open. Now back inside it goes. Here's a nice spot by Quinn. It's no good. Mike Simpson almost takes the rebound, and instead it's Kevin Mitchell for IU Southeast on the drive, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Cardinal Stritch's Jeremy D'Amico. Now 16 fouls apiece, so both teams in the bonus from this point on. Perry, one thing about IU Southeast, they haven't committed a foul in a while, so the Wolves have not got a chance to get to the line to extend the lead, but they haven't had much trouble so far, up 18.
No, not at all, but this now getting to the line for the Grenadiers. It's a chance for them to get back into the game, and the easiest way to do it is you put points on the board without any time coming off the clock.
IU Southeast shot very well in the game on Saturday, but shooting still a respectable 42%. The Cardinal Stritch has made 5 more shots than IU Southeast, and Cardinal Stritch with 9 threes. Second free throw is a misfire by Mitchell. Mitchell only 3 on the night for the Grenadiers. 8:45 to go. Cardinal Stritch with a comfortable lead right now, I think would be the way to say it. 61-44. Simpson holds it up in the corner. Jimenez. A couple of passes later, Simpson's got it again. Drives. His underhanded layup is no good. Rebound cleared by Moore, and he will be fouled. And Moore has maybe hit the funny bone on his elbow because he's in a little bit of pain, but it looks like more like it's smarts than it is seriously injured. He's going to try to shake it off and hit the free throws, and there's no worse feeling than that when you hit that. I don't know why they call it a funny bone, because it's not funny when you hit it.
Yeah, and you try to get the regular sensation as much as you can back in your arm, but he's not going to be able to completely do that before he has to attempt these free throws.
Well, he's got it, so he's going to give it a shot. More to the free throw line. Looks at it. First one is up and in and out, no good, but nothing wrong with the shot, just rolled in and out. Looked like he was in good form there. One more all the way to get the lead back to 18. Dribbles it and throws it up there. That one is no good. That one was short. 61-44. 8:10 to go. Here's a drive and a layup. That one no good by Jake Simpson. Mike Simpson for Cardinal Stritch with the rebound. And we're going to have a timeout. Whistle's going to stop play, and that elbow is still hurting Darren Moore. So Darren Moore is going to be looked at over there. And I think that
so you
Drew
wonder
Diener's
if
going to
this
go
is-
to the bench, yeah.
You got to wonder if it's going on this long. Is it just a hit on the funny bone, or is something more?
Well, it could be a stinger, and usually when you hit it, I mean, you have time not to use the arm and get it, but I mean,
That's
he's been
true.
trying to play a little bit, and might be better just to sit down and take a look at it. Gary Turbach, the trainer here at College of the Ozarks, will have a look at him as they continue to get that taken care of. Chad Mashur is in the ball game right there, right now for Cardinal Stritch. Mashur, the 6'3" sophomore, filling in and firing a shot up, no good. And then a steal, but they're going to call a foul on the steal on Simpson on the rebound, which will walk the other end for free throws at 7:46 to go. Getting in the home stretch here of the National Championship tournament with the final scheduled here for tomorrow. Again, it'll be an 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time start here from the Keeter Athletic Complex. And will be presented on CBS Sports Network. First free throw after the foul by Simpson is good. IU Southeast's Cameron Mitchell now with 13. We'll have one more to go. You know, as we get in the home stretch, a lot of times in these last games, especially since this is our last one on NAI.org, kind of like to look at some of the highlights. Certainly been some terrific games in this national championship. Had some exciting finishes. Had that buzzer beater by William Penn on Saturday. We've had 4 overtime games, including the double overtime game on Saturday. Had overtime games during the week as well. 61-46 is our score. It's a 15-point lead for Cardinal Stritch, and here's another basket by Jimenez, who now has 8. 63-46. Drive, kick out to the free throw line. Here's a Jake Simpson free throw line jump shot that's no good. And the rebound brought down, tied up, and it will stay with Indiana University Southeast. You know, one other thing that in the Saturday game we want to talk a little bit about, and didn't get a chance to, although Mike and Don may have talked about it during the William Penn game today. We had another record that was set on Saturday in that William Penn game. Here's a drive and a layup by Cameron Mitchell, who has 16. But Brandon Beasley, the fine player for William Penn, 12 points, 23 rebounds. A record previously held by 3 players and most recently accomplished by a player we got to see and was a rebounding machine for several years at Oklahoma Wrestling, one Sadia Rojas. And with all the excitement, what happened Saturday, that record kind of got lost, but that was a huge record. William Penn, also one of the leading rebounding teams in the country, besides one of the top 3-point shooting teams. That basket is missed, and IU Southeast tries to come back the other way, trying to make a little bit of a run here as they had cut it just a couple of minutes ago and have it now down to 15, but Cardinal Stritch right now being able to keep them at arm's length as we're under 6 minutes to go.
That's big. As you said, they need to start making a run if they're going to get back in this in the next few minutes.
We're down under 5:45 now to play. Drive, kick over on the lane, shot clock down to 6. One-hander by Ford is no good. Putback is up and in. Darren Moore has been solid inside for the second half for the Wolves. He has 12. It's 65-48. Now a 17-point lead for the Wolves as we're down to 5:25 to go. Here's a drive to the basket. Shot no good. Both the big players on the ground, so it's a 4-on-4 break. Here's a drive. Pass. Shot blocked. And heading back the other way, IU Southeast. Trimmel drives, and he will be going to the free throw line as he was blocked off the play by Darren Moore. Moore will commit his third foul. And IU Southeast heading for a couple of free throws. 5:09 to go, and Drew Diener, the head coach for Cardinal Stritch, just wanting the clock to run down as quickly as it can. Wiley Brown for IU Southeast is asking for that clock to slow down. This is the point of the game where the clock is not running either quick enough or slow enough for either coach. Yeah, it's running the same. I guess literally time is a constant, but figuratively it's anything but. Especially if right now you're IU Southeast, you want to slow things down, but 2 missed free throws are not going to help for the Grenadiers, and now it's Cardinal Stritch with the basketball as we come up on 5 minutes to go, 65-48. Ford dribbles around. Couple passes later, it gets inside to Moore. Kick back out to Ford. Ford from just inside the arc, about 18 feet away, no good. He gets his own rebound, kick out. Shot for 3 up, no good, and over the backboard. 65-48, Cardinal Stritch in front. .425 to go. Drive, shot, and a basket for Michael Harris, his first basket of the game. You know, one thing about this Grenadier Ball Club, they have 2 seniors and only one Terrence Billups that's played, so basically Wiley Brown will bring this team back to the court next year, and you got to believe they're going to have an excellent chance to be right back here next year. They are on a run. They've been here every year. Their first appearance, well, they were here back in '97. That was, of course, out of Nampa, Idaho. Their first appearance here at Point Lookout was in '03. They made it again in '05 and '06, and after missing in '07, they've been a regular here since 2008 and made it to quarterfinals twice, and now added one more rung as they made it to the semifinals. And even though it may be where their run stops this year, a good ball club coming back. Cardinal Stritch, on the other hand, they only lose 3 seniors, and several of their key players will be back next year. Moore, one of those seniors, now has 14 points as Cardinal Stritch back up by 17 as we are down to 4 minutes to go. Here's a shot inside, no good. Rebound kicked out, pushed back outside, and around the perimeter it goes. Here's a shot, no good. Battle for the rebound on the ground, and it's going to be tied up. And it'll go back to Cardinal Stritch. Looking back at the tournaments, the championships that have been here at Point Lookout, number 1 won it in 2002, the Evangel Crusaders, going all the way through. We do have a timeout on the court, so it'll give us a chance to look a little bit at this.
Now, he actually got the timeout before the held ball, so it'll stay with
That year, Northwestern was the number 4 seed that beat Evangel in the semifinals. Still one of the best games I've ever seen. In fact, you and I did that game all those years ago, and still maybe the best college game I've ever done. It was just such a terrific game, and it's a credit to Evangel. They had enough to beat Robert Morris fairly easily the next day. But Evangel won it. Then the very next year, another number 1 team won it, as it was Northwestern beating Bethany in that championship game. 67-50 is the score. As we are down now to 3:40 to go. Looking at some of the other number 1s that have won this championship. Well, at least in the Point Lookout years, There haven't been very many of them. We mentioned Evangel and Northwestern. Oklahoma Wesleyan. And so far, that's it. Now, several of the other number ones have been to the championship. You can kind of take a turn back and go to the Napa years as well and see what happened out there. But Cornerstone, the number 1 seed in 99, won it. Bethel, the number 1 seed in 98, won it. And looking at this from that point on, number 1 seed has not won, so very limited number of number 1 seeds that have actually won this championship. And William Penn will have a chance to get into some select company, but William Penn looked pretty good tonight, but they're going to have a tough out in Cardinal Stritch. They are very, very good.
Well, we talked about how they've done on defense earlier. With that last field goal, that's only the 16th second half point for the Grenadiers. We're down to just over 3 minutes to play.
Bellevue was held to 14 in the first half against Cardinal Stritch the other day. C of O, College of the Ozarks, held Northwood to 16 in the second half in their win on Wednesday night in the first round. Here's Moore, kick out, shot for 3. D'Amico, no good. And the ball goes out long. Trimble throws it out of bounds. That's the second time that ball's come this way. Probably trying to catch it with my bad wrist wasn't the best decision I ever made, but just trying to protect you and the equipment here.
I was ready. I had it. I'm not eligible either.
67-52, 2:50 to go in this one, and Cardinal Stritch looks like they're heading to the championship game. The one thing you're guaranteed of tomorrow night, you will have a first-time national champion. That was guaranteed when William Penn eliminated Grace earlier. Grace was the very first Division II national champion in 1992 in Stephenville, Texas. So with them out now, you'll have a new not only champion, but 2 first-time team ever in the finals. So, how do you figure out that advantage as it, comes down to the final stages? But I guess both teams in a way will be in the same boat.
Tony Smith to the line for 2.
67-52 Cardinal Stritch as they try to put this away at the free throw line. First one will be up and in. One more on the way. At the line is Smith. Smith certainly cooled off in the second half, but no doubt his 19 first half points were key in this one.
Well, they really set the tone.
As he still leads all scorers in the ball game. 68-52. Cardinal Stritch heading to the championship game, just 2 minutes to go. And a lot of the William Penn players were here and watching this one. As Cameron Mitchell gets his 18th point, he leads IU Southeast in scoring, but we're down to 1:45 to go. The clock begins to wind down. Mike Simpson goes in, throws it into Moore, and Moore is going to be fouled. Moore goes to the free throw line for 2. On the foul on Greg Miner, who just entered the ball game a few minutes ago for IU Southeast. First free throw, no good. The lead stays at 14. IU Southeast actually did a good job of not getting completely blown out. The lead had got up to 19 a couple of times, but Cardinal Stritch has done just enough. But what's interesting about this matchup, as we mentioned earlier, it is very easily a matchup of teams who are going to bring a lot of these players back next year, and certainly could be right back in this national championship here at College of the Ozarks next year. Cardinal Stritch now to the final 1 minute, 60 seconds for Cardinal Stritch to punch a ticket to the national championship. Simpson to the basket. Shot no good. IU Southeast with the rebound. Mitchell tries to put one in. Instead, it's going to be a slam. Jordan Thompson gets the basket for IU Southeast. And Cardinal Stritch is just going to hold on to it as their fans here, maybe not as many in number as some of the other teams that are here, but Cardinal Stritch will take it and take on all comers, and they're getting ready to head to take on William Penn in the national championship game tomorrow night. That's your final. It's Cardinal Stritch with the victory over Indiana University Southeast by a final score of 69-56. This being our final